Welcome back to ModGolf Live. I'm your host, Colin Weston. We're at the PGA Show 2026. I've done a couple of interviews this morning here, one-on-ones, but you're going to get we're going to 3x that right now. We've got not one, not two, but three guests representing a company. Well, it's not only with CourseRev.ai, but there's another company here. You know what? Rather than me making the effort to remember everybody's name and all the rules, I'm going to go down the line here. We're going to get started here. So we're going to start right to my immediate left here. Why don't you roll it out here and let everybody know who you are and what you do?
My name is Matt Wade with PITChcrm, VP of Product with Pitch, and also partner in CourseRev as well. And then Chris.
Yeah, my name is Chris Hill. I'm CTO at CourseRev.ai, and excited to be here.
And I'm Bill Ratcliffe, and serve a number of roles here. Colin, I wear a number of different hats and everything. I'm president of CourseRev, founder of the codology team that has PITChcrm. And with CourseRev, worked with my good partner, Amanda Justin, and as the founder of CourseRev. And excited to be here today talking with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
There we go. Well, Del, you're way at the end down from here, but you and I met each other. We had the opportunity at the NGCOA Golf Business Conference for us to do a little duet that we actually co-hosted an event. I have to say, I have not had that much fun being involved in an event in years is presenting. So I think you and I are onto something there. I think we need to take that on like an 86 city tour, take it on the road. What do you think? Right? Is that two of us going?
Yeah, I figured you would want to do that because I think the whole purpose of that session was making fun of me. So you may want to tell people a little bit about that.
Well, was that my job description? I guess I don't know. Maybe
whether it was or not, you did a good job at that. So.
Well, I got another 25, 30 minutes here to make fun of you now, so maybe I can make up for the last time.
That's great.
So looking forward
to that. I got backup today, though. So.
There we go. You got some protection between you got two guys between me and you here, so we'll see how it goes. So I want to start off here. Of course, we've got Pitchcrm and CourseRev. But let's start with CourseRev because, I don't know, that's just what I'm going to do here. Because let's try to keep this as simple as possible. And I'm going to let you guys kind of drive the narrative on this, and I'll kind of help herd some cats here. So why don't we start off with, why don't you tell us, I'll let you decide which one of you wants to jump in here, and why don't you tell us what CourseRev.ai does and why you do it?
Yeah, so I picked that up. So CourseRev.ai, we've been out for about almost 2 years now, or 18 months, and we're a voice and chat AI concierge for golf courses, and it's going pretty well. So we started out, voice is our bread and butter at the moment, but obviously we have a couple of new products coming out. But yeah, basically we can handle, we're trying to take that pressure off of the pro shop at a golf course so that golf course operators and the pro shop can spend more time with the customers face to face in the pro shop. So we take those calls and we can handle tee time availability, booking, modifications, cancellations, and even general questions about the course and even the status of the course as well for that day. For example, if it's cart path only or something like that. So yeah, it's been pretty good so far, and we've had some challenges, but I feel like we're in the right track for 2026.
Well, hey, if you don't have challenges as a startup and early growth company and entrepreneurs and founders, you just got trying hard enough. If you're not falling down, you're not going fast enough. I learned that at snowboarding years ago when I kept falling down. So that's what you need to do. So Del, I want to turn it over to you because not only are you the president, I believe that's your role with CourseRev.ai, but yourself with your 3 decades plus of industry insight and course owner operator. So you're able to look at, kind of put on the client hat almost and know all the pain points. So with CourseRev.ai for a lot of courses, because most courses now are just not quite there yet, or how can I put it? I guess saying they're laggards is a bit harsh, but I think we've kind of seen that revealed. So why don't you let us know when you put on your user hat as the persona that would be the client for the product. Tell us with that, of the kind of the pain points that it solves for you with CourseRev.ai.
Well, I'll tell you, you hit the nail on the head there, Colin. Really, all of the products that we have, and I'm going to let these two guys talk about the specifics of the products, but I am the Chief Operating Officer of Pinnacle Golf Properties, and we have over 20 courses that we manage. And the real crux of what we're trying to do with technology is to make our golf courses more profitable. CourseRev is actually named that for course revenue because we're focused on revenue generation. Yes, it's a voice answering service, but there is a lot more to it. We're using AI in ways that no one else is doing to make our golf operations more efficient, more profitable, and easier to run for the golf courses that implement the technology. Same thing with Codology and PITCHcrm product. PITCHcrm, and Matt's going to talk about that. We're really focused on making our golf courses more profitable and easier for us to use. We're solving problems that are really, I've had pain points for many years in the golf business, and most of the technology solutions we have come from my talks with Mana and these two gentlemen sitting right here, where I said, what we really need is something that does X, and then these guys go out and build it.
We call Dell the main guinea pig. So it's the second title other than president is guinea pig.
The main guinea pig.
Yeah.
So Matt, so I understand. So can you explain this to me? Like I'm in grade 3 here. So with PITCHcrm, how does that fold into and add value to what's going on with CourseRev.ai? And what kind of a technology stack you have here? Yeah. Explain that to me as simple as possible so I will understand.
So Pitch is the oldest product. We've had it since 2012. So, and
All right.
Dell, it was initially Dell's idea that he wanted an email SMS marketing platform for his golf courses. We have since taken that. What PGA does is essentially it allows golf operators to maximize their revenue and tailor marketing messages specifically based on customer interactions. So they're able to trigger automated email campaigns or direct campaigns based on reservation history or no-show. They can automate no-show email reminders. They can do all sorts of things to tailor messaging and automate that messaging so that they don't have to sit there and go in and create those emails every time. The system handles it for them automatically.
There we go. I want to ask you three gentlemen here, without throwing any golf course owners or operators under the bus here, but what I saw during the mastermind on Sunday that I was able to participate in with all the course owners in there, I was quite surprised of how far behind a lot of them were. Like a lot of them were patting themselves in the back. The fact they're actually taking credit card payments now. It's like, really? Is this 2005 here? Like, what's going on? So I was kind of surprised, and there were other elements too. And then that. So are you finding with AI that they're more intimidated or overwhelmed? So what's the messaging that you tend to say it'll do everything for everyone all the time? So what's that low-hanging fruit, that introduction that kind of warms them up? So yeah, I don't know who wants to jump in for this one, but let us know, because I think for a lot of course owners, it's from going to zero to like what the what. I don't understand this, so I'm going to do nothing. So how do you get them to do something with CourseRev.ai rather than just do nothing for another 3, 4, 5 years?
It's mainly based around education and teaching them what is possible. I think one of our main challenges has been we have all this power in our platform, but our users don't necessarily know how to implement that into a strategy that works for their facility. So it's kind of just engaging with users, meeting with them one-on-one, trying to teach them what all is possible and helping them develop strategies that act to maximize the use of the platform.
Thanks for that. And I want to extend that, and maybe Del, this goes to you, or whoever wants to jump in here. Del, I know you're a great storyteller. I want to hear a customer success story. Maybe talk about an example where someone was a laggard, someone was resisting, and how you managed to win them over and completely converted them. And now they're one of your ambassadors, and they're evangelical about what you're doing. So I'm sure you got many of those stories, but I don't know which one of you wants to jump in here. But yeah, share a couple of stories here of the success of how you had someone go from, no, I don't get this stuff, I won't do it, can't do it, don't understand it, to now they can't get enough of it.
I'll respond quickly to that, mainly because I want to address your comments on the fact that, golf course owners and operators, Colin, you're exactly right. We're not really early adopters of technology. We never have been. And the industry is really rooted in tradition. We talk about golf been around for over 400 years, and tradition is a part of the game. And not only are the operators out there that way, but many of our golfers are very rooted in their beliefs of how golf should be paid for, what our business models are in golf. A lot of confusion in golf about, memberships, what memberships really are, private clubs versus daily fee clubs and semi-privates and all of that. So the business model is not real clear. Every golf course is different.
Yes.
So when they come to the adoption of technology, one of the challenges is making that technology adaptable to all of these, what are truly different business models. We're still largely an industry of mom and pop operations out there, and even if we're not mom and pop, even among the bigger MCOs, which we're a part of, everybody kind of has their own secret sauce or things that they want to do. So
Yes.
change is not real easy for us to overcome, and it can be scary too. So we have that problem. Now, without calling out anybody in specific, I can tell you what our typical experience is when we bring someone in, we explain the technology to them. A lot of times they're a little bit reluctant. They're excited because they see the potential. They know the pain points. Okay, and again, we really focus on what can we do to help your business be more profitable, easier for you to operate, less headaches for you, less stress on you. Okay, but the real key is once we get it in and we get it tweaked to their operation, that's really the big hurdle for us.
Mm-hmm.
Our hurdle is not the initial sales. I mean, we can go out here on the floor right now, and I would bet you if you follow me at the microphone, we could make a sale of someone of CourseRev within the next 10 minutes. I would be very confident of that, okay? But then getting them from that point to the actual adoption, that's where the real challenge is, because we have to get in, we have to learn their business model, we have to customize our installations to what they do. And that's where these guys come in. They're designing things that are adaptable to all these different things that we have to do with technology to adapt to a golf operation.
Got it. Yeah. That leads me to my next question for both of you gentlemen to jump in here. Now that Dell set that up, I'm going to have you answer the hard question here. How, as a business, both with PITCHcrm and CourseRev.ai, how do you balance between you want something that is out of a box so you can scale it very quickly, but also it sounds like you also have to do some customization. So my question is, how do you balance that tension between customization and replication? And do you build that into your pricing model, or just tell us about that journey? How do you do that as far as the sales cycle? Or pretend that I'm a course owner and now you understand my parameters, my hopes, dreams, and fears. And so how do we go about getting across the line and getting a solution that works for me?
Great question. That is one of the hardest parts actually for us to solve when we first started with testing on Dell's golf courses. is we've now built a system that is fully customizable and fully functional, but getting all of those different parameters for different golf courses, who wants to do prepaid versus just booking around, that was a big challenge with what we do. I would say prioritize. How do we do that? I guess we really spend a lot of time with operators during the onboarding process to actually work with them, learn about their operation, what is driving their revenue, and how do we set up the system to do it for them. It takes a little bit of time to get that correct with each golf course, but we work through it with them and get everything set up in the way that they want it to work for them.
There we go.
Yeah, what Dell was saying is each golf course is even something personal to a golfer as well. Their local course has been, maybe they played there for 20 years or something, and it's very personal. So change is a little difficult, but I think once they get started, they realize it's much easier. But no, one big pain problem that we've had is that it's not every golf course is a cookie cutter situation where we'll just set up this one model and we can onboard 100 courses like that. No, it's just amazing how each course has just had we don't maybe they have certain player type guidance or restrictions to where maybe they don't they want to have seniors on a different time or on Saturdays and things like that. So we've recently built in CourseRev, we recently built a system where we can take those kind of customizations and write them in natural language, and with AI, we can actually implement that much easier rather than trying to build something really rigid and structured in code as we used to do. we can just write out, oh yeah, they don't want this player type to play at 2 o'clock on a Saturday, or maybe they only want 9 holes after 3 o'clock on Sundays and things like that. And we can just write that now in natural language. And because we're using AI, it's much more flexible in that way. So we're trying to build systems to where we can, that where even if one course wants it now, tomorrow, we're happy to build that, because then now we have a new feature set for another golf course to come on and be like, no, we can take care of that right now. No problem.
There we go.
The funny part is that we can train the AI model instantly and very quickly within a few hours. The hard part and what we have to work through and during onboarding is actually training the staff and the course operators on what it's doing and how we needed to set it up.
So with that, that's a good question where you're going. So that onboarding process with the staff, when you bring on a new golf course as a client, I'll get in a minute. I'm going to ask you the difference between a municipal course and a daily, fee course and a high-end private resort. I'm sure those are different animals together. So let's touch on that one in a bit. But how do you do that piece, kind of that human-centric piece of the different needs that you have with someone that's actually working at the till of the pro shop, or the manager, or the head pro, or the head superintendent, or someone that's the manager of food and bev in the restaurant. So tell us about that, as far as how you just don't drop this down at in their lap and say good luck with all these tools and this awesomeness we have. So tell us about that piece, that kind of that human connectivity to make sure that they succeed.
Well, we've got, for example, one thing we have built into CourseRev is we've got something called notice board, and now we have announcements. And what that enables even the guys in the pro shop, if they've got something that they that they know, say for example, like there's a problem on hole 10, or it's car path only on 15 or something like that, they can just really quickly and again in natural language add that in, and then straight away instantly the voice AI and the chat AI will know this, will be able to relay that to the customer in real time. And that.
Hey, Colin, I just want to jump in here. I'm really impressed, man, because your questions are very insightful, and they're really keying in on the challenges that we face when we're dealing with these golf courses. Because you're exactly right. But we're not in the early adopter industry. Yes. There's not a lot of understanding of what the capabilities are and are not of AI. What does it do good? What does it not do well? And so our challenge is to design something. Ultimately, what you want when you're trying to do any technology is to improve the efficiency of something, to make it much more easy for the flow of not only the workplace, but also for the customers. You want it to be as frictionless as possible for the golfers coming to your facility. The challenge of that is still maintaining the complexity of golf. Golf is a very complex business in the way that we do it. We've got different price matrices. We've got different, structures as far as player types and, booking windows and all of this stuff. It's a very complex thing. But the general public doesn't realize how that is. So what we have the capability and what these guys are working on every day is how do we make it easier on both sides, both from the course operator, but also from the end user, the golfer, to make that a very seamless and painless, and flow of how that goes without them even realizing it's doing all this stuff in the background.
Right. And getting back to that mastermind with all the golf course owners and operators in the room, one of these pillars or key themes that kept recurring was the agonizing over whether we should go with dynamic and surge pricing and arguing on both sides. So how kind of flexible, I'm assuming with the AI kind of learning model that you have, that if someone then wants to change and they want to, we haven't done surge or dynamic pricing yet, and now we want to do that, how, I'm going to put it, how not only frictionless, but how nimble, I guess is the better word, do you find that you're now helping them kind of supercharge that to make that even easier for them when they're trying different things or A/B testing or tinkering around for looking for different solutions and using the AI model to help with that?
Well, it's instantly, really. The system's integrated with their reservation T-sheet system. So we were reading the pricing from directly from there. So it's, as soon as they change it or set a new dynamic pricing table, whatever it may be, our systems are instantly reading that and publishing that pricing to the customer. So immediate.
Got it.
We even had a course, we've even had a couple of courses change T-sheet systems while using CourseRev. And we've been able to just make that switch in the back end and just continue booking and supplying those, whether that is dynamic pricing with a new T-sheet. We've been able to integrate that straight away.
You'll notice too, Colin, in that discussion in the masterminds, one of the things that's really obvious when you dig into it, there's not even agreement on how dynamic pricing is what are the things that it's even looking
They couldn't
at.
even really define it and agree on that.
Right, yeah. Oh, that's a whole podcast, 3 or 4 in itself.
Right, absolutely.
But one of the things that we try to do in all of our software products is we design it to be flexible. We're not trying to tell the golf courses how to run your business. We're trying to provide you solutions that allow you to run the business the way that you want to. Now, we are working, this is something I'm going to tease a little bit here because Chris and his team are working really intently on some, truly innovative dynamic pricing strategies, okay, and how we look at things. The great thing about AI is we're able to use unstructured data in a way that no one is even really comprehending you can use now, and literally tens of thousands of data points that we as humans can't even hardly comprehend. It can process instantly, so we're looking at what are really factors that affect demand, because it truly is demand based, okay, but what causes demand? All right, we look at things like weather. Does weather really cause demand? No, there are other factors on that, so again, we can talk hours. I won't shut up on it because I'll go down the rabbit hole with that, but it's true.
Hey, once again, Dell, at the top of the show, you said, I'm not going to talk that much. And you failed. I knew you would. I was like, okay, I'd like to see that happen. But everything you're saying here, you're just dropping nuggets of insights here. So they're good words you're saying, not just words. So one of the things I wanted to finish up with here, maybe this is a Dell question again, or whether Chris or Matt or all of you jump in here. I touched on this with, all courses are not the same. And you guys mentioned this, you know this implicitly, and Dell, from your experience over 3 decades, how could you not? So I think I got at least 3 of the food groups right here, that if you've got your municipal courses, your daily rate courses, and also your private clubs, and then of course your high-end destination, maybe that's 4 of them. Are you, with CourseRev.ai, do you have clients in all 4 of those sectors? And if you do, it sounds like you do, you're shaking your head, what are the different needs or desires or pain points, or it can't all be the same? So what do you see what they consider success? I'm sure a lot of the points are the same, but there's other ones that aren't. Hopefully I'm asking that question that it makes sense there. So tell us the differentiation between the fact that it's not one size fit all, and how you can manage to accommodate them and make them even better.
Well, we have, like you say, we've got actually one of every type of those courses.
Yeah.
And we were just discussing that this morning, where we've got MCOs, some multi-course operators, and then we have to differentiate even within those. So we've got, obviously, you might have a multi-course operator that's a single property, one clubhouse, one pro shop, that has, 3 or 4 courses. But then we might have another multi-course operator that'll have, 4 or 5 courses surrounded by, over 100 miles, and with different pro shops. So those 2 setups, even within that, are completely different.
I can imagine, yeah.
Because, you want to, if you want to get transferred, maybe talk to someone, but transferred to the pro shop, it's got to be able to know which pro shop, or if it's a single property, it has to be treated as if it's a single property, not 4 individual courses. So even within that sphere, there's already differences in that. And then you've got even multi-course operators that span states, and then different courses that have different pricing. So we have the ability to then filter during that call or interaction, to filter between what course they would want to play based on maybe a price or a location and things like that as well. So there's even within MCOs and multi-course operators, there's even nuances within that.
Or within, yeah, like all their courses are the same. So
Yeah.
different needs even under the umbrella.
Yeah.
Well, Dell, you're living that. So I guess you are kind of the guinea pig petri dish,
Oh, yeah.
I guess, for this. The fact that you said you operate how many courses again?
We're at 23 right now, growing.
Yeah.
By the end of February, we're probably over right at 30. And so we're continuing to grow the portfolio pretty extensively. And we wouldn't be able to do it without these two guys sitting right here and their team. You know, each one of them really is working with a very highly experienced team, and it's just great to have them behind us all the way.
So it sounds like with you with Pinnacle, you're the beta guinea pig.
Oh yeah, all
Like
the features get rolled out. To
Yeah. So your job is to break things as it does.
Yep.
And that he does.
And
That he does.
well, Matt started with us, you know, and has been on the behind the counter, actually working at the golf courses, and then has moved over into the technology team and leading that. And Chris has extensive experience on the golf side as well. So they're not just the tech guys. They're not just you know, doing that stuff. They have that experience too. So it's really great for us. We do have you know, they use us as a guinea pig and all. So, but that's how we make the products better.
There we go.
And I think that actually our clients appreciate that, our expertise and knowledge within the golf industry. It really helps us in our day-to-day job and understanding what their needs are and what staff members are encountering day-to-day behind that counter. It really helps us understand what we need to build and how to make it work for them.
Nice. Okay, last question as we finish up here. In fact, we have every golf course owner and operator descending upon us this week in Orlando at the PGA Show and the the National Golf Course Owners Association Business Conference here. I'm sure you've heard these stories, lots of objections or at least reluctance, maybe because they just don't know yet. So what are you finding the common misconceptions is maybe the way to put it, that then you're able to alleviate to let them know or make them feel more comfortable. So what are you hearing? Whether the recurring ones that maybe golf course owners and operators that are watching on the ModGolf YouTube channel or listening on the ModGolf podcast afterwards when we release this, or even at the show walking by here. So yes, what are you hearing? What can you say to people that is not as scary, as intimidating, or difficult as you may think for that adoption?
I think one of the biggest things is when you 10 years ago, when you called in a big company customer support line, you get the automated answering service.
Yes.
And people have the frustrations of, let me speak to rep, or frustrations of dealing with that automated assistant in the back of their mind. And they think, well, that's what this CourseRev.ai is going to be like. And it's completely different. This is with the AI nowadays, it is incredibly intelligent. It is better than a human. It always answers in a happy tone. You don't have to worry about the mood of the staff that day. And it handles it. It handles it properly. And if it can answer a question, that's when it passes it over to the staff member. So we have those safeguards in place that really allow it to work and function for you without any headache.
Love that response. I can do a mic drop, but I have to ask one more question here. Are you getting any pushback of whether it's golf course owners and operators? Obviously, they want to reduce their bottom line, but there's always this big fear with AI that it's going to replace all these jobs. But what I understand, talking to a lot of people on the groundskeeping and superintendent side with mowers that are AI powered, that it's doing all the jobs that either they can't hire people to do, or it's kind of the low skill jobs that are time consuming and take a lot of energy and not efficient, where then they can focus their staff on doing kind of the higher skilled pieces. So are you finding that also, that it actually doesn't eliminate staff, but it frees them up to do more high value pieces of work? What are you guys finding?
I think it definitely doesn't eliminate staff. Like they can, like as you said, they can then focus on that attend to, you know, the face-to-face interactions that's happening right in front of them, and you know, and for you, everyone listening to this has probably been in a situation where you've been in the pro shop and the guy's on the two phones, and one guy wants to buy a hat and one guy wants to check in and one guy wants to be a member at the same time. So I think it's definitely not eliminating staff, because then you can even get more face-to-face quality interactions in the pro shop and around the course, and then even just in our businesses as well. It's certainly not even eliminated out. We've actually obviously increased our the help that we need, because right now, even on a technical front, is for coders and our development team, we've actually increased our staff because they can spend more time on really designing and really thinking about a problem rather than just say coding, for example. So I think it goes hand in hand with the golf course operators. They're able to spend that more quality time with each individual golfer or customer that comes into this project.
For that quality, we're going to have my last question here. Once a course brings in CourseRev.ai and PITCHcrm, are you measuring customer experience satisfaction scores and staff satisfaction? Are you able to measure that? Or is that something you're starting to do? So let me know about that. Are you finding? I would think that in both cases, those would be going up, not down. So yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
We definitely are, yes, and I'll let Chris speak to this more so than me, but we actually track all those interactions, and we have an agent that is reviewing them and flagging ones where there may have been a dissatisfied customer.
Okay.
And so, but I'll let you speak more of that.
Yeah, exactly. So we are able to, with the tools that we have in AI again, we're able to track and monitor every single call and interaction that comes in. It's able to point out all kinds of KPIs and data points that we can then track. We can then populate some questions that gets asked by every customer that interacts with the service, and then we can actually go to the golf course operator and say, look, these are the most frequently asked problems and questions. This information is not on your website. So we can then work with the operators to then improve the system continuously.
Love that. Okay, so to finish up here, so everyone that's watching on the ModGolf YouTube channel, people walking by here at the show, or people listening on the ModGolf podcast, how can people learn more about CourseRev.ai and also PITCHcrm?
Well, the easiest way would be PitchCrm.com. You can reach out to us and find out all about what the platform does and reach out to us that way.
Yep, same CourseRev.ai. We just launched a new website this last week, so check it out. You can ping us directly into the website or email us hello@CourseRev.ai.
There we go. Well, as I always do, so in the show notes for the podcast, I will include all those links to make it nice and easy for you to find those. And on YouTube also, in the comments, I'll include that also. So, gentlemen, Chris, Matt, and Bill, thank you so much for joining me today, bringing us up to speed with what's going on with CourseRev.ai and PITCHcrm. And this is the beauty of the PGA Show. 72 hours ago, I didn't know you three gentlemen, and now I think we're becoming fast friends here. So I was drinking about it. Absolutely right. And hey, for everybody, stick around for a few more minutes because, as I mentioned at the top of the show, right behind me is the Inventors Spotlight, the showcase, I believe they call it. There's about 30 companies in there. Yesterday, I walked around and I found what I believe, based on my 15 years in entrepreneurship and sport tech and golf, that the three that I like the most. So it's not a pitch competition. I've given them the opportunity to spend a couple of minutes at the end of the show here, and they're just going to be presenting the awesome thing that they're doing as part of the Innovators Showcase. So stick around for that.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.